fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of the journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you, and for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently around this channel, so if the message does happen to resonate with you along the way, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It'll have everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. So today we are doing Archangel Michael's powerful message for your biggest choice or biggest decision, depending on how you look at this. We're going to get some insight onto that. I'm going to be using the Archangel Guide Oracle by Kyle Gray, and I do have my Archangel Power Tarot out as well. Did I say the Archangel Guide? It's the Angel Guide Oracle. Okay, so let's put this over here and let's get your prayer underway, and we'll get your reading started. All right. Okay, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for a moment's time. And we're asking for guidance for our biggest decision, our biggest choice that we have. And sometimes we're not sure of what direction to take, or if we're really aligning with what it is that's best for us, or if we're making a decision based on an emotional, egoic need, want, desire. But today, I ask that you help Archangel Michael bring forth the clear message, the powerful message that needs to be heard and absorbed, and that can find our heart in a way that helps us know the next step to take in our path and our journey. That our direction is clear. It's one that's aligned with love. And as long as we can come back to this place of unconditional love for ourselves, of unconditional and radical acceptance for ourselves, and knowing that even if we make what might seem like a wrong decision, that ultimately it was the right decision at the time, was going to help us get to where we needed to go by learning lessons or gaining experience that we need for the journey moving ahead. Archangel Michael, I ask that you're present throughout this reading, and that you help us sever ties with your powerful truth of your sword of truth. Help us sever ties to anything that might be anchoring us down, holding us back, or preventing us from choosing ourselves moving forward. Thank you for being here. Thank you for affording us your love, your light, and your grace. As I speak these words upon this tribe and onto this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Aseh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Source. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Archangel Michael. All right, let me get this set up over here. Perfect. So let's go ahead and shuffle. And let's find out. So, Archangel Michael, what angel oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message that you have for my fellow humans' biggest decision or biggest choice? What angel card is going to help us better understand the powerful message that you have, Archangel Michael, for my fellow humans' biggest choice? Okay, thank you. What angel guide oracle card is going to help us better understand the message that you have, the powerful message that you have for my fellow humans' biggest choice? All right. Archangel Michael, for pile number 1, what angel oracle card is going to help us better understand the message that you have for pile 1 regarding their biggest choice right now? For pile number 1. I feel like there is a resistance for you, pile 1. Worried about if there's actually a right decision. And sometimes if there feels like there's only a wrong decision, sometimes we have to make the best of what we have. That's what's coming through for you already. All right. So for pile 2, Archangel Michael, what angel guide oracle card is going to help us better understand the powerful message that you have for my fellow humans' biggest choice? For pile number 2, Archangel Michael. A lot of resistance across the board today. Okay, thank you. And I'll address that in the collective message as well. Archangel Michael, for pile number 3, what angel oracle card is going to help us better understand the powerful message you have for their biggest choice for pile number 3? For pile number 3's biggest choice, the powerful message that you have. Oh, they want the bottom. Okay, I got you. Thank you. All right, on the bottom, we have transformation. Yeah, okay, this makes sense as to why there's that reluctance to receiving a message and the fear that I'm not going to hear what I want to hear, or I'm not going to like what I'm hearing here. You know, transformation is hard. No matter when it comes or what it's in regards to, you know, I feel like sometimes the spiritual community paints transformation as like this overly romanticized thing. Like, yay, it's transformation, it's coming, it's happening. And then when we're going through it, we're like, this is awful. This is terrible. Why? Because it's very uncomfortable. But transformation is powerful. So instead of seeing it as this overly romanticized thing, let's see it for what it is. It's powerful. It's something that can inspire us to continue forward on our journey. And what Archangel Michael is saying today is that when you embrace the discomfort of the transformation and the shift, and whatever is present, so whatever is standing in front of you, when you embrace that and you're able to face that head on, you will be able to make powerful decisions for yourself, powerful decisions regarding your alignment, powerful decisions regarding your life, and regarding your motivations and your values and who you wish to be, right? Because we're always trying to figure out, who am I? I am that I am, right? What is that philosophical, I think, therefore I am? I can't remember who said that, but it's an old philosophical quote from somebody way back in the early years of humanity. Anyways, if you know who said the quote, please say down below. But yeah, there's that quote, I think, therefore I am. But we're trying to strive, not really strive, we're trying to gear away from thinking about what I am and coming into what I know that I am, right? Because when we're thinking about it, we can overwhelm ourselves, and then the transformation becomes even further uncomfortable. And we can close our hearts off to what is standing in front of us and what is even potentially good for us. And so Archangel Michael is saying collectively right now, there's this resistance because of the transformation, but that the transformation itself, while difficult, is also equally powerful. And instead of romanticizing it, let's see it for what it truly, truly is. And that's the shift. And the shift allows us to step into a more beautiful version of ourselves, a more beautiful version of life, and a more profound understanding of what is possible for us. So transformation says you're ready to move beyond energies or situations that are no longer helpful to you, and make space in your life for something more purposeful. You may feel a real need for clearing out at this time, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually too. As you remove the clutter and debris from your world, you welcome in the energy of transformation. Like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, you are ready to move beyond the previous limitations of your life. You're moving away from stagnancy or the feeling of being held back and are taking the heavy energies of your life and making them light, so that you can fully embrace who you were born to be. Wow, what a synchronicity, right? That's what we were talking about. I love that. Thank you, Archangel Michael. It says when this card appears, angels are acknowledging the emotional and physical transformation that have taken place in your life. They can see you more clearly now that you have released the old, fusty thoughts and situations. There is a feeling of renewal now, and you are moving into a space where you are more comfortable than ever with who you are. You have a spark of splendor burning in the depths of your being, and this spark is creating positive and loving experiences for you now. It's time to enjoy the benefits of your commitment to your growth. And that's really powerful too, as we come into that. It's like the commitment to your growth. It's something that we wish more people experienced, was this commitment to their own internal growth. But as you continue growing and expanding and evolving, you begin to recognize that it is actually quite rare for individuals to take their transformation seriously, because most will feel the discomfort and they'll run away at the first sign of discomfort. But through the process, you've held true to yourself, and you've held true to where it is that you feel you want to head, the direction you'd like to head in. And while it hasn't ended up exactly as you imagined it would, you're seeing that you are transforming into who it is that you want to become, bit by bit, step by step, inch by inch. And that is the collective message that we have. So, wow, that was really powerful. All right, let me get these ready for you here. Okay. All right, so for pile number 1, we have this dice with the 8th house on it. Okay. Or we have this soda light for you to choose from. For pile number 2, we have this dice with the 10th house on it. Or we have this grape agate for you to choose from. For pile number 3, we have this dice with the 4th house on it. We have this black obsidian for you to choose from. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the one for you. And with that being said, I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 8th house on it, if you were drawn to this piece of soda light, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your message on Archangel Michael's powerful message for your biggest choice or biggest decision, just depending on how you choose to look at this. But first, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently here on this channel, but if the messages do happen to resonate with you, it would really mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and see what Archangel Michael's powerful message for your biggest choices. So Archangel Michael, what is the powerful message that you have for pile number 1 and their biggest choice? Archangel Michael, what is the powerful message that you have for pile number 1 and their biggest choice? What would you like to say today? Okay, so we've got the 4th house, we've got Aries energy, and we've got Venus. So this could have to do with a career or a family situation. I know on 2 different ends of the spectrum, but that's the 2 energies that I've got coming in right now. And remember that even if that's not what your biggest choice is, that there still could be messages here for you in regards to that, right? But if I list out everything that there is a potential for it to be, we would be here and never get to the reading. So that's just something to keep in mind. This is showing that there's been some sort of hardship, though, when it comes to life in general. There's been a lack of healing, or a want to just kind of skip over this part of your healing. And just, it's like, I feel this energy of taking a step beyond your healing and just stepping into a leadership position and being given everything that you're asked for, without having to do this one part of the journey or this one part of the work. And that's okay, right? Like, we're not here like, oh my gosh, you have to, get over yourself and do the work. That's not what it is. But what Archangel Michael is showing here is that there's power when you choose to focus on this part of the healing. Whether that's letting go of a past situation or a past belief or a past pattern, something that has been with you for a long time, since childhood, even potentially a generational curse here, something that your entire family has lived out for many, many generations. And in letting this go, it's going to help you clearly take action towards something that's going to be substantial and more stable. Part of that comes from giving yourself space to practice self-love and self-care, and coming into quiet time and reflecting on what is arising for you. But I do feel like this has to do with the leadership position or leadership role, right? So that could be a leadership role within the family, as a matriarch, a patriarch. That could be a leadership role in a business where you're moving up into management, or moving up as like a CEO, or even an owner of a business. Okay, so this is saying to take a huge step. That's the thing here. It's like Archangel Michael is saying you're taking a huge step. And yes, this huge step offers potential for financial freedom. It offers potential for great happiness and great stability. To be even more stable is to face this part of the past where there's codependency, there is passive-aggressive energies that have been surrounding you for some time. Letting go of the belief that you don't deserve this, or letting go of the idea that you have to give 1,000% of yourself without giving back to yourself, okay? And Archangel Michael is saying that when you face this part of yourself, instead of trying to sidestep it, you will feel even more grounded in moving forward, okay? And I feel like that is far more important to you, pile 1, than it is to sidestep this potentially feeling harmful, right? And healing feels dangerous. It feels harmful to us. It's like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to relive this. And it's not necessarily about reliving it as much as it is observing the pattern, right? Okay, oh, the pattern is I have self-sabotaged because of not feeling like I deserve to step up, or I have put others' needs before my own, which has left me with an empty cup. Like, it's more about observing the pattern rather than reliving the situation over. And for those of you that need to relive the situation over to heal, reminding yourself that you're safe and that you are an adult now and that you're the one that has your back, and that will help exponentially with this. So let's see if I can get in even further to this. We're going to be asking the Archangel Power Tarot today. So Archangel Michael, what is the powerful message you have for pile number one's biggest choice? What would you like to share with us today? What is the powerful message that you have for pile number one's biggest choice? Okay, thank you. What's the message you have for pile number one's biggest choice? Not being afraid to see yourself as powerful as well. You know, sometimes it's hard. We think that, oh, if I try to look at myself as powerful, I'm being arrogant or I'm being selfish. And that's not the case at all, right? If we don't believe in ourselves, who else is going to, right? And we can't ask others to believe in us if we don't believe in ourselves first. Archangel Michael, what is the powerful message you have for pile number one? Thank you. All right, on the bottom of the deck, let's see what we've got. We've got decision. Yeah. So we've got the devil energy, which in this deck is called decision and represented by Archangel Jophiel. And it says, release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. This is exactly what I was feeling with the dice. There's this energy that's coming in where it's like, a worry that you're not enough, or a worry that you can't fulfill the role that is being presented to you, or doubt that you have the skills, the talent, the artistry even to do this, right? And what I was saying when we started, it's that energy that Archangel Michael was bringing forth. It's like, if you don't believe in yourself, you cannot ever ask another person to believe in you. That's not how self-belief works. It's not, well, when you believe in me out there, then I'll believe in myself. We wish it worked like that, and our emotional ego tries to convince us that it works that way, but it doesn't, right? That keeps us disconnected. When we say, I am powerful, I am strong, I am balanced, I am creative, I am skilled, I am talented, right? These are not arrogant things. We're saying, I choose to believe in myself because I deserve to be believed in, right? We believe in others. We believe in their abilities, but we can't do that for ourselves. Why? Where's that lacking within you? And that's what it feels like. You're free yourself from the cage that you put yourself in. Free yourself from this. And the cage to me is representing a cage in the mind, right? Like it's the thoughts that you constantly hold for yourself, like, oh, comparing yourself to other people who are maybe doing the same thing, or comparing yourself to people in your family even, right? Or comparing yourself to friends, or, you know, whatever it is. There's this comparison energy, and there's this feeling of, I'm not doing what I need to be doing, and I should be further along. And what Archangel Michael is saying is, you're exactly where you need to be, but the decision is and will always be yours to free yourself from that which is potentially causing you harm right now. Okay, so we've got the Four of Michael. Insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, and seek relief from stress. And didn't I say that to sit in the silence? That will help. But the Four of Swords is also energy of peer pressure. So that also is confirmation that there's pressure outside of you, or believing. Maybe there's not, and maybe there is, okay? Maybe it's us putting the pressure on ourselves because we believe that other people are thinking XYZ about us, right? Or in some cases, people are very vocal about the way that they're thinking about us, and thus that creates that peer pressure. I have to stand up to their expectations. But you only have to stand up to your own expectations, because ultimately the only person that you can ever outdo or become better than is yourself. And every day we become a different version of ourselves anyways. And so you're only ever in competition with yourself. And the only person you should ever compare yourself to, if you're going to compare, is yourself, right? How am I different today than I was yesterday? That's a comparison, right? Yeah, this is a completion for you. The World. A very happy ending, coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. This is about letting it go and allowing things to end for good, and knowing that Archangel Michael, like, he's the one that's depicted on the world here, right? Knowing that Archangel Michael is helping you fight a lot of these battles, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, and especially mentally coming in here. It's like every time your mind is trying to send you down this dark rabbit hole, you might feel a very loving presence come to you, and that might actually distract you from those thoughts, or it might take a while, and that loving presence comes forward. And that's Archangel Michael coming forward and saying, like, hey, look, I get that this is what we've done before in the past, but we don't need to keep doing this, because we see that it doesn't work, right? We see that this is not something that has benefited us or has given us fruits for our labor. Wow. And the Sun, we have life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. So in a 3-card spread with 4 cards out because of the bottom of the deck, you got 3 mystery cards, which is massive, which showing this is a huge thing for you. So the powerful message here is to trust in yourself, to believe in yourself. You know, we've got Archangel Uriel here with the Sun, and Archangel Uriel is represented by the coin, or the pentagram, if you will. But it's also, like, I see that as the coin in tarot, very earthly energy. And he's also represented by the red flame, and that can help us let go of holding on to the past and to reground us here in this moment. But you have the World, the Sun, and Decision, which is also the devil, what you might know in tarot as the devil, okay? And so you have this energy that's coming through where it's saying the decision is and always will be yours, but Archangel Michael wants you to know just how incredible you are. You get to see yourself that way, though. You are the only one that can see yourself that way, right? And for you, I feel like there's this energy of taking steps backward. Well, I should be, or I could have been, or it would have been. What if coulda, shoulda, woulda went by the wayside and you just looked at where you are right now? And instead of judging where you are right now and saying it's not good enough, what would happen, Pile 1, if you said, I am good enough right now? What if you looked at today and compared yourself to 10 years ago? And that's the only comparison that matters. Are you different today? Are you further along today? It doesn't matter if you're where everyone else thinks that you should be. It doesn't matter if you are the person that everyone else is expecting you to be. Peer pressure only keeps us in this place of distance from our true self. And Archangel Michael wants to remind you of how precious you really are. Release the toxic thoughts. Detox from those negative patterns, the worry, right? The worry based on a lack of self-confidence. What would it mean for you to see yourself as a confident person right now? And what steps can you take today to begin to implement that, right? It doesn't have to be powerful. What if it's just getting up and walking around all day with my shoulders back and my head held high? Then do that today. And even if you don't remember every moment of the day, keep trying to remind yourself throughout the day so you can check your posture, right? Just simple things. I'm going to listen to a really upbeat, inspirational song or a motivational speech before I start my day. Or I'm going to sit in prayer with Archangel Michael and with Source and and tell them my worries so that I don't have to shoulder them. Right? But Archangel Michael wants you to remember just how powerful you are, and that you're ready to be seen as this leader, to step up into this leadership role. But no matter how ready we may be, if we don't make the decision for ourselves, we'll always be seemingly one step behind. Wow, this is really powerful already. Let's get some oracles out and see what else Archangel Michael would like to say. Oh my gosh, I can't with you. So we have Uranus and Saturn flying out together. Radically change, right? But this is something you're feeling restricted on, experiencing struggle, learning hard work and patience. This has been a long time coming for this change. This is almost like believing that I have to work hard in order to enjoy anything. Right? And really leaning into that belief. And so you're overworking yourself, but never giving back to yourself. And it's not that, like, Saturn is the planet of tough love. It teaches us very valuable lessons. But sometimes as a community, we can really truly believe that work hard, play hard. But we get so stuck on the work hard, we forget to play hard too. But that's a part of it, right? It's okay to work hard, but are you playing hard? And I feel like Archangel Michael is asking you to take a step back and reassess your energy overall. Like, are you allowing play and pleasure to be a part of your life? Are you allowing fun to be a part of your life? Or is this all about production? You know, we think about it, everybody expects us to go up. But what they don't tell us is that eventually we reach a point where we start to come down. And this is a journey. There's no getting away from that eventual fall, if you will. And it's not a fall from grace. It's just a fall. It's a fall in the way that we can't always be progressing 100% of the time. Sometimes we hit stagnancy. Sometimes we stalemate ourselves. Sometimes we are our worst enemies in situations, right? Like, we have Pisces energy on the bottom of the deck with intimacy, intuition, and compassion. So coming back to this place of listening to your intuition and going with the flow. You know, Pisces is the mutable water sign, and it's kind of that energy of, you know, what Bruce Lee says, be like water, you know, be formless, be fluid, right? And that's what it's saying here. And so I feel like Archangel Michael is reminding you to be formless. Like, there's no need for you to try to fit into this imaginary shoe or box or life that you have in your head. What is it if you just showed up and enjoyed life right now? So we have Turtle Spirit flipping out here with slow and steady wins the race. Can you be okay with it happening in due time? Not tomorrow, not next week, not in a month, but steady as she goes. Can you be okay with that? Right? Part of making the decision is being okay with how things end up. You know, there's this quote that I remember, and it says, one would rarely choose the journey if understanding what the sacrifice truly meant for the journey. And I can't remember who said that or whatever, if that's actually the way that it goes, but it's something along those lines. Like, we would rarely ever actually commit to a journey like this if we understood what we had to sacrifice. And you've sacrificed a lot, and there's no going back from that, because those sacrifices have brought you this great wisdom. And so there's no going back to this place of just reliving the curse over and over again, because everything in your life and everything in your spirit is going to keep pushing you to coming to this place of transformation and helping you to radically change the situation, not just for you, but for your ancestral lineage. Wow, we've got transformation is beautiful on the bottom with the butterfly spirit. Oh my goodness, exactly what I was feeling. This energy, it's like there's this transformation that's happening. And if you didn't catch the collective message, check that out, because there's further message for you there if you feel called to. But with the number 11 here, we see this is a very spiritual number. This is a divine number coming in, showing you this is a divine message. Right? You are held, you are supported, you are given everything that you need. But sometimes we get lost in the sauce because we can't make a sound and stable decision for ourselves. So when that happens, we are afraid, or we're worried, or we're consistently going back and forth and playing certain scenarios over and over again in our head that don't play a part in this actual journey that we're walking right now, which is why we get stuck in our head. So here we are, freeing ourselves, the crown, right, raising above this butterfly's head, and then all these little butterflies at the top here. It's like freeing yourself from the constant worry, the stress, the overwhelm that Saturn has so graciously brought, right? Saturn is a beautiful energy to work with, but we've learned to fear it. Saturn is something that can bring us so much change and help us align with something so beautiful. But if we're constantly fearing it and worrying that we just have to stay in this place of hard work and suffering, we're not actually enjoying the beauty or the fruits of our labor. All right, so we've got Stargazer. Set your sights higher. Don't be afraid to ask for more. And look, all the planets are right here. You've got the sun. We've got Mars. What is that? There's Venus, Saturn, the sun, Pluto, Mercury, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and the moon. And I'm not sure. I think this is the part of fortune. I'm pretty sure that's the symbol for part of fortune. I'm not 100% sure here. Right, but isn't it funny that Stargazer came out and we were just talking about Saturn? And so I feel like this is confirmation from Archangel Michael. Like, sometimes the stars are not in our favor, but that doesn't mean that they're not in our favor, right? For us, it's overwhelming, it's difficult, it's heart-wrenching, it's heartbreaking, it's a struggle, it's feeling restricted and closed off. And you know, Saturn connects with Capricorn energy, which is the devil connects with Capricorn energy too, which if you see here, they have the Capricorn symbol in the middle of the cage here. I don't know if you can see that there. It's right there where my thumb is, right? And so there's this energy where it's like Capricorns are incredibly steady when they're in their light attributes, but when they're in their shadow, they can be incredibly pessimistic. And so with Stargazer coming out, I feel like this is that reminder to stay in that optimistic energy while still moving forward, steady as she goes. It's going to take a while to get where you're going, but it doesn't mean it's not going to come. You get to make the decision. Of course, you could absolutely stop, turn tail, and run. There's nothing wrong with that. But just know that if this is what your heart truly wants, and if this is where you really want to go with your life, everything about you, your heart, your soul, your higher self, your intuition is going to remind you that this is something that you deeply, desperately want in this life. And there's always going to be that question, what if? But what if there was no what if? And instead, there was only do, right? Even if you failed, are you really failing? No, you're gaining experience, you know? Have no fear. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings holding you back. So this is very telling energy here. Have no fear. The decisions energy coming through here. It's like Archangel Michael is reminding you that to stay in that place of worry or wonder or peer pressure or comparison or whatever it is that is holding you back right now, to stay there is only to keep yourself in that vibration of fear rather than facing it head on. You know, everybody's like, oh, well, you're fearless. And it's not because me or another person is fearless. We take action while the fear is still there. Knowing that action is what is the only thing that helps us face the fear. That's the only thing that helps us face the fear, is taking action. Right? So on the bottom, we have caution. Yeah, there's a lot of moving about cautiously here. Almost like as if you're walking on eggshells. But who are you walking on eggshells for? Are you walking on eggshells so that other people don't feel uncomfortable, but you have to feel uncomfortable? And if that's the case, Pile 1, how is that fair? Like, let's just break that down for a minute. Why is it that you're required to walk on eggshells so that everyone else can be comfortable? And I can hear reasons coming in. You know, well, because I love them, or because, you know, I don't want them to ridicule me, or I don't want them to judge me, or because of I want to be loved by them too. But let's just strip away all of those things. If they really loved you, they wouldn't treat you terribly for being you. And if they treat you terribly for being you, then sometimes we just have to be grateful for that, because that is a very clear sign and indication that they're not part of our tribe. But that's what's so scary, is letting go of potentials, right? But if a potential never is, then a potential will never become. Because someone who wants to lean into their potential will be. And that's what we have to remind ourselves constantly. Wow, this is a really deep message coming through. All right, let's get one of these. Okay, Archangel Michael, what else would you like to tell pile number 1? Okay. On the bottom, we have Azure. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. Yeah, there's no need to force anything here. And there never was, right? To make a decision is not forcing anything. It's deciding that this is what I want, and I'm going to go towards that no matter what comes my way. I'm not going to let fear knock me back. I'm not going to let everybody and their sly comments knock me back. I'm not going to let their passive-aggressive energy knock me back. You see what I'm saying? Like, a decision is a decision to stand firm in where it is that you choose to go. Knowing that you're prepared and have the strength to face whatever comes your way. Protection, Guardian. Drop your shields. Yeah, you're so much more protected than you might realize. You know, like I said at one point in your reading, I believe I said Archangel Michael is fighting a lot of battles for you. A lot of battles. Archangel Michael is coming in and taking care of a lot of things that you might not realize, but still be worrying about them because you're not seeing that they're being taken care of in the spiritual realm, which is understandable too. It's not like we have a clear peering eye into the spiritual realm all the time. You know, it's our intuition that peers into the spiritual realm. And sometimes when we disconnect from our intuition, we're disconnecting from seeing those energies. Regain your focus. Trivial life matters are distracting you from your goals. Archangel Metatron and I are here to help you stay grounded. Wow, very, very powerful indeed. Look at all this blue and green energy coming through. This is your heart chakra and your throat chakra. Trusting that what your heart wants matters, and trusting that it is your right to speak it into existence. Get your power back. You've forgotten who you are. You are a child of divine, so take back your power. Yes, I love this energy for you, right? Whatever this situation is, or whoever's involved in this, it's a feeling like giving your power away to them, saying, well, you're the ones who know me better than I know myself. And that has never been true, Pile 1. No one knows you better than the divine, and no one outside of us knows us better than we know ourselves. We just have to open ourselves up to seeing that part of ourselves. Disruption, right? Refocus. Wow. So there's been a disruption here. There's been a disruption from whatever it is that your path has been. You know, that could be this cautious energy coming in as well. That's caused the disruption, or there's someone else that's playing a part here. There's someone else that is making you feel like you don't deserve it. And the powerful message here for this big choice that you have is not to let the disruption keep you from focusing on what it is that you want. What is your outcome? What is the overall outcome? And why is that your outcome? What does that matter to you? Like, why is that important to you? And understanding these parts about yourself will help keep you on that path. Okay, we have Indriel here. You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. You are here for a much, much bigger reason. Your path that your heart is taking you on is going to be the reason that you help inspire the world for change. That could be one person, that could be millions of people, okay? It doesn't have to be worldwide, but it could absolutely be worldwide. This is saying that you're here for a reason. Sometimes we're teachers to the ones that are going to disrupt, right? To disrupt the world for the better. Sometimes we're just the teachers. Sometimes we're the disruptors. Sometimes we're the ones that create the waves, and that creates a ripple across the collective consciousness for awakening. But remembering that if we're not pouring into ourselves, we'll never have that effect, and that could affect, it's like the butterfly effect, right? It's like that could affect someone on down the line and prevent them from becoming who they're meant to be. Especially for those of us that choose to do things for other people, right? That's something that's really powerful to remember. If it's not the people closest to home, it's going to be the people who can impact the world on a greater level. Okay? And then we've got Archangel Gabriel coming in as well. You have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help. So not only is Archangel Michael here, Archangel Gabriel is coming in, Archangel Metatron came in, we have Archangel Jophiel and Archangel Uriel all making an appearance in your reading saying, hey, guess what? You've got a team backing you right now and you're not alone. Okay, but you have, what did I say? This one, exactly what Archangel Gabriel is saying, like your life mission is so much bigger than you might realize at this moment. So I'm going to take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. Friendship and union. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. This is a beautiful energy. I already love this. I already love this message for you, Pile 1. And I feel like you haven't found your tribe just yet, but it doesn't mean that you won't. You're meant to have a tribe, okay? It says this is a time for coming together. Friendship and other connections are important now. There's a strengthening in your bonds with others and your capacity to know who your people are. You're surrounded by incredible, insightful, and encouraging people at this time, and it's important to enjoy the friendships and other connections you have. If you felt disconnected or out of place for some time, know that you are moving into a far more supportive and joyful space now. Your angel guide is encouraging you to connect deeply with those you trust most. Ask yourself how you can bring the whole of yourself into your friendships and relationships. Be present, listen, open up, smile, laugh, venture forth, and enjoy this time. If you felt left out recently or have been wondering if you can trust those around you, angels are giving you clear insights and information to help. Don't concern yourself about any relationships or friendships that have been fading into the background. What's important is that your vibration and energy will attract friends with whom you can be yourself and who can mirror back to you who you are. If there's something missing in a particularly important friendship, know that your angel guide is inviting you to ask yourself, what is missing here? How can I supply it? If you feel that you are struggling to make friends or you don't know who your friends are, invite your angels to assist you in making connections with those who can share and receive a loving and balanced way. Your angel friends are ready to help you form incredible unions, okay? And we're not talking about romance here. We're literally talking about soul tribe here. And what Archangel Michael wants you to know is that the decisions you make now are going to impact the way that people come into your life for the rest of your life. Okay? And that's why if you're afraid or if you're cautious right now, you could actually be doing yourself a disservice by unintentionally mirroring back to others that you're not open for this connection or you're not open to have that love and support in your life. And that's why it's so important, and I get this, like I've been here too, to open yourself up and to be vulnerable means to give others power, right? It does. But you take your power back by realizing that no one can hurt you with that information any longer because you've done so much healing. Okay? So this was an incredible message for you. I pray that this finds you well and that this resonated with you and gave you the guidance you were looking for. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the little heart hands emoji down below and say, it is through understanding, accepting, and seeing myself as I am, I open up and I connect with the people who are meant to be in my life right now. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. It's an easy way to help support the channel. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides, and a special shout out to Archangel Michael for this message today. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 10th house on it, or if you were drawn to this grape agate, or if you're drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your message, Archangel Michael's powerful message for your biggest choice. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things completely differently around here. So with that in mind, if the messages do happen to resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. It is an easy way to support the channel. So with that, let's hop to it and let's find out, Archangel Michael, what is the powerful message for pile number 2's biggest choice that you have today? Archangel Michael, what is the powerful message you have for pile number 2's biggest choice? All right, so we've got the 4th house, we've got Capricorn energy, and we've got Saturn energy. I just quickly want to, many of you might have come from pile 1, and that's perfectly all right. But if not, there's just there's something that's happening here that's feeling very restrictive. It feels very boxed in, right? It's like you're working hard, but you feel very stuck where you're at. And it's a choice. Do I move on? Do I leave this? Or do I keep putting forth the effort? We see here, Archangel Michael is absolutely acknowledging how hard of a worker you are, especially with Capricorn coming out and Saturn. Okay? This could also be mirroring the father wound and feeling like I'm never doing enough, right? The father wound has to do with our, you know, like not ever doing, it's so funny, I have affirmations going across my TV and it says, I accept myself, I am already good enough. I just looked over and it just popped up because it's going through them as it's going through the frequencies. And so it's interesting because the father wound actually is that, right? It's like feeling like I'm never good enough, or feeling like, and that can be part of the mother wound as well. But the mother wound is more about nurturing ourselves and giving ourselves that love that we need to survive and to thrive, right? But the father wound is always about that constructive criticism, that what we've done is perfect, but there might also be a better way to do it, right? That's that constructive criticism energy. And it feels like that's not something that you've ever received in your life. Or maybe you have from bosses, or maybe you have from friends, but that could be an internal wound, like a core wound coming in, especially with the 4th house being shown here. Feels like this could be a core wound where there's always this panic that I need to do more. I have to be doing more. Like I'm not doing enough. I'm always behind. And you could be months and months ahead on your work, or you could have met all your deadlines already, but you're still feeling like you didn't do enough. And what Archangel Michael is saying here is that is a blockage and a burden that's coming through, and it's preventing you from making the best possible choice that you can for yourself, because there's that worry about, well, what if I could pump out even more work? What if I could do even better this time? It's almost like perfectionism, but it's perfectionism mixed with workaholism. Is that the right word? Yeah, workaholism. And that's what this really feels like. There's this energy of never giving yourself a break. Like if you go home, it's hard for you to sit still. It's hard for you to just be present with yourself. And so you might get up and start doing things. It's like you might find it really difficult to come into the present moment, or this is something that you've been working with, is trying to find presence. But it's like even talking, I feel like I need to rush through. Oh my gosh, I gotta talk even faster. I gotta do this, you know, and that's what it feels like. And there's this energy of like feeling like time is running short and shorter and shorter and shorter, and never being able to enjoy this moment. And that is the restriction itself, is actually the belief that's tied to that. We see that as something that comes from. And with the fourth house, this could be the mother wound as well, like I said, because that's Cancerian energy, the fourth house tied into the moon as well. And then we have Capricorn here, which is the 10th house. And you had the 10th house, right? Didn't you have the 10th house to choose from? Oh my gosh, that's synchronistic in and of itself. Okay, so we've got the 10th house, Capricorn and Saturn are all tied together as well. But Cancer energy is the mother of the zodiac. Capricorn is the father of the zodiac. That's just the energy that they embody. And so there's this almost a denial to let yourself be present with who you are, because you're always trying to be a better version of yourself. It's hard for you to accept you as you are in this moment, right? So a good example would be if you are trying to lose 5 pounds. It's the last 5 pounds that you have to lose. It's like, rather than letting things work out and allowing those 5 pounds to come off, it's like you might start overworking and working out so hard all the time and exhausting yourself. And then you skip a workout because, oh my gosh, I'm so sore. I did arms and legs yesterday and I can't even feel my arms. They're like noodles. I can barely walk. I'm standing up and I'm acting like I'm 100 years old because my legs are hurting, you know? And then you skip a workout, and then all you can do the next day is beat yourself up for skipping the workout while again overworking yourself. And this becomes a vicious cycle. And it doesn't have to be just losing weight or working out. This could be at work. This could be in life. This could be even with the kids and with your spouse, right? This is just something where it's feeling like I'm not doing enough. I have to do even more. But if you gave your plate of your life, pile 2, to anyone else, they would be so overwhelmed. They'd be like, I don't even know how you do it. And you're over here thinking about adding another 10 things to that plate when it's already full. So when are you taking time to take care of yourself? And that's what I feel like this is going to help you with this choice that's coming up, or this decision that you have to make, is remembering that it's okay to draw away from working so hard and making a decision for yourself, coming into that space of quiet. And if you get so overwhelmed by being in the quiet, sit with that overwhelm. Put the phone away. If your body starts jerking and you start tapping your leg or whatever, let that happen. Sit with it. Just sit with it. Don't do anything. Don't get up so that you can run away from the discomfort. And that's what I feel like Archangel Michael is saying here, like wanting to come back to listen to the intuition, but needing desperately to slow down. Whoa. It's just... Alright, so we're going to use the Archangel Power Tarot to get messages today. So Archangel Michael, what more would you like to share with pile number 2 today? The powerful message you have for their biggest choice right now. Powerful message for your biggest choice for pile number 2. Archangel Michael, what would you like to say? Thank you. Yeah, the moon again. It's just emotional discomfort, emotional dis-ease, right? Like I'm unaligned because I don't want to feel my emotions. And that, you know, you could have been healing. You could be working on aligning yourself all the time, but there's something here that you're trying to run away from, and that's okay. We all do that, right? You're not alone, you're not weird, you're not different. This is just your part of the journey right now. So Archangel Michael, what more would you like to tell pile number 2? What's the powerful message you have for pile number 2 regarding their biggest choice? What's the powerful message that you have for pile number 2 regarding their biggest choice, Archangel Michael? Okay. Alright, what is the message that you have for pile number 2 regarding their biggest choice? Epiphany. Yeah. This is interesting. Like, even before we look on the bottom of the deck, like, I just want to look at these 2 cards, because what I noticed right off the bat is they're both holding this lighted, you know, he has a lantern in the Hermit, and then in the Emperor, he has this wand with the light at the end of it. It's like shining a light on something, right? Having the epiphany. We have stability and efficiency, taking a charge of a situation and ambitious plans, and then we have joy through spiritual growth, be a light to others, answers that come through meditation, and Archangel Raziel and Archangel Uriel coming out. So isn't it interesting, because I was saying that, like, you might struggle with meditation, being present. That just might be something like where you're like, even 5 minutes seems excruciatingly long. There's just so much going on. It's almost like to quiet the mind for you, pile 2, feels overwhelming. It feels like such a challenge. And so for the Epiphany card to come out, we see that that's, again, that confirmation coming through, where Archangel Michael is saying that when you're able to come to this place of silence and stillness, you're going to get the answers that you need to move forward. And even though it's uncomfortable, there is spiritual growth when we sit with the discomfort. You know, I do this breathing exercises almost every morning, and I started with a video, and now I know the breathing exercises, so I don't use the video anymore. But in the video, you have to sit cross-legged on the floor for 15 minutes. And when I first started, my legs would fall asleep. All the time they fall asleep. Now they don't fall asleep anymore. It's just through practice, right? But that's when I first started, they would always fall asleep. And even though I practice yoga all the time, they'd still fall asleep. And I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Why are my legs falling asleep? It's so uncomfortable when they fall asleep and they're like dead leg, you know? And you feel when something touches you, but it feels so weird. It's like, no, I don't like that at all. And I remember he would always say, he's like, whatever happens, sit with it so that you gain the spiritual growth from it. Don't move so you gain the spiritual growth from it. And some days I was okay. Some days I could sit with the discomfort and I would be fine. And there were plenty of days when I couldn't. And I was like, nope, I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it was like getting over that. Like, who's actually preventing me from sitting with it? Is it actually because my legs are asleep, or is it something that I'm mentally telling myself I cannot do? And so that's what I feel like Archangel Michael is telling you here, is there's something that you're mentally telling yourself, I cannot do this. I cannot meditate. I cannot sit still. It's like something that's very mental that's coming in, but that you can indeed take action. You know, there was a yoga practice, and I wish that it was still online because I absolutely loved it. It was just such a beautiful practice. But anyways, she always talked about how when we would get done with the standing practices and we would lay down, and she goes, okay, don't move. You're the one that prevents you from moving. We forget how powerful we are. We forget that whatever is animating this body is so powerful that we can choose what it does. We can choose to be in that energy of, oh my gosh, like it's gonna have control over me. Or like when your nose itches, you reach up to itch your nose rather than just staying present with the itch and allowing it to be. It's uncomfortable, but eventually it'll subside. And so there's something here where it's like Archangel Michael is saying to sit with it so that it eventually subsides, and that's where the spiritual growth comes from. Okay, so on the bottom, wow, okay, so this card fell off the bottom, and I see justice coming out here with Archangel Raziel Fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favor, and don't give up. So keep going. Keep fighting the good fight for yourself, because eventually it will get easier. But we had the page of Raphael that's actually on the bottom, and it says gentle, loving, dreaming, and open-hearted. A new emotional situation. Messages regarding relationships or social invitations, and great intuitive insights. Oh my gosh. This is something that's brand new. This feels very new for you. It feels very, it's like the first steps in this journey when it has to do with dealing with that emotional side of yourself. And then, wow, you got all 3 mystery cards. I can't. So you have the sun, and again, the light. This is about shining the light on something that is incredibly uncomfortable, right? So you might also be working with Archangel Uriel, and that's why I said some of you might have come from pile number 1, or if you felt drawn to pile number 1, that would have had some other resonating messages for you as well. And if not, that's perfectly okay. You're never required to watch multiple readings. But with the sun coming out here, it's like shining the light, bringing this out of the darkness. But you must first traverse into the darkness. You must first go forth where it's scary so that you can shine the light. Because at the end of the day, pile number 2, you are the light. You are. It's not someone else is going to shine the light on this for you, or someone else is going to bring this forth for you. No, you are the light here. And so this is something, and for you to get all mystery cards coming out on the table on the reading, and even justice making an appearance here, right? Very powerful energy, saying that when you let go of this idea or this discomfort, that you always have to be on point. At the end of the day, pile number 2, you're still human. And that might feel like a jab at your personal being, but it's not. It's the reality of the situation. You're not a robot. There's nothing about you that should be robotic, right? You are meant to live life, and with life comes ups and downs, ebb and flow. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. It's all integrated into this life. But if we're constantly expecting ourselves to be a robot, to produce as if we don't need sleep, or as if we don't have emotions and feelings, or if we don't experience all that life has to bring, we're really disconnecting ourselves from our own emotions and our own intuitive understanding of ourselves and of the situation around us. And so Archangel Michael says the powerful message for you for your decision or your choice coming up is to disconnect so that you can reconnect with yourself. That is what he's trying to say here. And I know that I already feel like the resistance here, but I can't do that. When you're saying I can't, it's not that that's not a valid reason. It is. But ultimately, instead of focusing on what you can't do, focus on what you can do. Can you do a moving meditation? Can you put on a song and dance and allow yourself to get so lost in the music? That's still a form of meditation, right? Can you do a meditation while you wash the dishes? Turn off all distractions and focus on each dish that you're washing, and each dish, if you dry or you're putting it into the dishwasher, whatever it is. But really being present with that. If you're, doing laundry or house chores, being completely present with each moment as you're doing it. If you're writing something, can you focus on the strokes of the pen and the scratches that it's making on the paper, right? These are all forms of moving meditations, and these are all ways to help us gain insight on what it is to be in silent meditation. If you can get present in moving meditation, the next step is to get present in silent meditation. And I feel like that's what Archangel Michael is telling you, pile number 2. So let's get some more out here. Let's see what else comes through for you. What else would you like to tell pile number 2, Archangel Michael? Aries energy. Yeah, you're full of fire. We have independence, bravery, and passion. You're so full of fire. Like, you just have so much. But at the end of the day, too much fire, right, can burn us. And so remembering that we also have to temper that with the water. We have to temper that with earth. We have to temper that with the air, right? It's tempering it with other elements. Too much of one thing is a bad thing, right? So we find balance. On the bottom, wow, Look at that. Oh my gosh, thank you for this confirmation. We have destined to release with the South Node energy here. Yeah, so you're meant to release this. It's brutal. Like, this is a very brutal energy, right? And so this will help you make the choice that's coming for you. And I feel like it's just judging yourself very harshly or expecting yourself to be something much more productive, or like, even it sounds bad, but it's not. It's like being more grandiose than you already are. And it's not that you're narcissistic or anything like that, but it's like the expectation comes from someone else, and you're trying to live up to someone else's expectation of you, and you're the only one that's suffering for it. Even the person who holds this expectation over you, when you're not around, it's not on their mind that much. So what's the purpose of trying to fit into that expectation? We have Crow Spirit coming out with co-create with Spirit. 1717 might be a very powerful number for you to look up. Also, you might have been born on the 17th, but I'm getting this as a very powerful number for you right now. Okay? So Source is trying to help you co-create the life that you desire. But if you're in this version of yourself where it's like, I'm never good enough, then what you're trying to manifest will never happen. So, yeah, we have this and that are true with Dolphin Spirit. This is such a unique card. I actually really am glad that this card exists, because that's what I was saying. It's like, well, but I can't do this, right? And it's not that that's not valid and that's not true. When we focus on what we can do, we're taking ourselves back to a positive frame of mind. But this card talks about how both sides of the story are equally true, right? Like, of course, the can'ts, if you believe them, they're true. That will become who you are. Because as a man thinketh, you are what you think you are. So if you think you're incapable, then that will become your truth. But if you think you are capable, then that equally becomes your truth. And so it's choosing which side you want to feed into. Doesn't make it easy. Although the steps might be simple, that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. But realizing that it's okay that you felt like you couldn't overcome this, which means that it's equally okay to believe that you can, right? Giving both sides their due just, and knowing that everybody goes through those moments of doubt and hesitation and fear. In fact, I remember when I first started meditating, like, it was very difficult for me. And I just chose one day that this is going to be a part of my journey. And I've meditated nearly every day for 8 years. And, you know, I missed a couple of days here and there, but that is something that I can honestly say, like, I have meditated every day for 7 years. And that's crazy for me to think, for when I first started, and how difficult meditation was for me. So I completely understand that. Right? We have Snake Spirit flopping out of this deck with Shed the Old Skin. Yeah, and that's what's funny about this, or what's unique about this situation, Pile 2, is that this isn't even your skin to hold on to. I feel like this is someone else's belief and someone else's thought processes that you have somewhere along the way adapted into being your own. And what we're saying here is to shed that old skin and allow yourself to have this epiphany about who you are and where it is that you want to go. Okay, so on the bottom of this deck, we have Star Ancestor. Yeah, many of you might have come from pile 1. This is so synchronistic with pile number 1, but that, again, if not, that's okay, because there's a lot of differences in the energies as well. But we have Follow the Voice of Your Soul. But this is telling too, because that's what I was saying with the snake skin, or the snake shed the old skin, is that this could be an ancestral generational curse, which we saw with the 4th house, right? This is something that's been passed on. It's not been your energy to carry, and this is very much a confirmation of that as well. This is something that someone else basically put into your lap, and you said, oh, okay, so I'm going to carry this now, not knowing any different, right? It's not like you were like, oh, of course, like, I know that this is terrible, I'm going to carry it. No, not knowing any different, right? How could you know any different? That's what you were seeing. You were learning from the scenario that was in front of you. I read this interesting thing the other day. I'm learning about superpowered learning right now, and I read this interesting thing where it talked about, they did this study back in, I think it was in 1989 or 1982 or something, in the 80s. And the guy, he made the Bruxley bear, I think is what it was called, or the Ada Bruxley bear or something like that. Well, anyways, so they gave the kids this bear after the parents, they showed the parents with the bear, and they showed the parents just beating the bear, right? Like treating the bear like crap, and it was a stuffed animal, but they just showed the parents, they will let the kids watch the parents treating this little bear like crap. And when they gave the bear to the kids, nearly every single one of the kids did the same thing to the bear, even though there was no reward for it, right? It wasn't like they were gaining something from it. They were literally seeing what was happening and then in turn imitating that energy because that's what they thought was supposed to happen. They talk about how when babies are first born, before babies learn how to talk, they are watching you and they're watching you do everything. So imagine we were that way too when we were babies. We were just watching and taking in everything. And sometimes it's like, well, it feels like you're telling me it's my fault that I have this pattern, but no, there was no reward for carrying this pattern. You're literally carrying it because this is the way we learn. That's just part of our learning process. And that's what it feels like. It's like you just learned this from someone else, and it could have been from the mother, but I really feel like most of you, this is a father wound. This is something you learned from the father and from your father's lineage. So it could have been an uncle, it could have been a grandfather, it could have been an older brother even, right? Or it could have been all of the above. What else would you like to say, Archangel Michael? And so it's hard sometimes when it's like, well, but they should have known better. They were an adult. But you can't expect someone to know better when they're an adult if they're reliving their own wounds over and over again, right? That's why healing is so important, because it brings us into that place of understanding that no one's really at fault. And that's hard for our emotional ego to believe, because our emotional ego wants to convince us that there's got to be somebody somewhere to blame, and really there's really not, right? So we have number 4 here. Be a light to others. You have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. Yeah, exactly what we were talking about, right? It's like, if we don't become the example ourselves, we'll never teach others how to do better. And that's why sometimes you run into pockets of people that are just very low vibrational, and it's because everybody is perpetuating that energy where they're at rather than being a light. And that's why you might see someone who shifts and becomes something different than the environment that they were in. But you also begin to recognize that those that are shifting themselves and changing, they oftentimes get moved out of that environment because that environment is so heavy. And it's up to the people who are left whether or not they take heed of that, or they take, measure of what that person was doing and choose to do that for themselves. And so I feel like that's what Archangel Michael is telling you. It's a difficult situation that you're in, absolutely. I'm not trying to invalidate that, but remember, if you're focusing only on what you cannot do, how will you ever move on from this, knowing that there are plenty of solutions available to you? And even if you can't see them yet, by beginning to focus on what you can do in this moment, you will begin to open yourself up to the resolutions that are available to you. And that will open up your intuition to receive those resolutions from source energy and from Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael, what else would you like to tell pile number 2 today? Whoa, a dancing card. You are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. I can't right now. What? That song came in so strong. Oh my gosh, that's interesting. There's something very powerful about 17, and that's crazy. And didn't I say like doing a dancing meditation too at some point? What? Okay, thank you. Thank you. We've got faith. Yeah, have a little faith. Have a little faith. The faith of a mustard seed, that's a real thing. Having a small amount of faith can take you a long way. trusting that Archangel Michael's got your back, trusting that Source has your back, trusting that your spiritual team has your back. They're not trying to run you into the ground, but it might feel that way when we're running ourselves into the ground. It might feel like even our spiritual team is against us when they're not. And so Archangel Michael is reminding you to have a little faith here. So this could have been something that happened at the age of 17. Maybe your parents had you when they were 17, or your dad became a father at the age of 17, or his dad became a father at the age of 17. So there's a lot of different scenarios that are coming in, but 17 is a very powerful number for you, pile number 2. And if you want a deeper message, if you're like, well, I don't know what that means, that's okay. Then the deeper message is to check out what 1717 means. You know, just type it into Google, 1717 angel number, and find the one that you feel called to. And that should hold an even deeper meaning in regards to this message, okay? So let's see. What else would you like to say? I feel like, okay, there we go. That's the one. So we have Akasha coming out here. You are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life message. And we got that with the be a light unto others. Like there's something here that you're meant to help others heal from. You're meant to help others become the version of themselves that are going to help them align with their own life mission, their own path of purpose. You have to let go of whatever it is that's been holding you back right now. So this could be in regards to you choosing to do something in regards to your life mission. Like you want to write about what you experienced in your past, create some sort of artistic expression of that, or you want to start singing songs, or you want to create music, or you want to build your own business that helps heal others, or you want to start studying some sort of metaphysical modality for healing, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to even be spiritual. It could just be like you have this idea to help kids or to help teenagers. Maybe you want to just help teenagers or help be a counselor to teenagers, right? That would make sense too. So whatever it is, it's just showing you it's like you're meant to help others. But if you're always trying to be, pile 2, if you're always trying to be this robot, what we don't realize is that others feel the bite of that feeling that we're not good enough, that feeling of high expectation, and then others always feel like they fall short, and thus they will never open up and be real with you. And so we have to be real with ourselves in those moments if we're in that energy, okay? Let it go. We have 18. The situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so you can embrace the future. Moving forward, okay? So we have embrace, embrace your life purpose. And we were talking about writing something. So something to do with writing or communication. I'm guiding you toward your divine life purpose. Whatever makes your heart joyful is what you're meant to be doing. Yeah, and what we love to do should never be something that we feel is running us into the ground, right? And if it is, or if we feel like we have to run in the ground to be successful at it, that's a perfect opportunity for healing. Comfort. You're meant to live a comfortable life, but I'm also seeing this as that South Node energy, that this is something that is uncomfortably comfortable for you. It has been uncomfortably comfortable for a long time, and so it's been a challenge to let go of, and that's okay, right? It's going to take time. There's going to be a process to it, but allowing the process to unfold can bring a lot of magic into your life as well. So we have Archangel Raphael making an appearance. I'm helping you heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. You're a teacher. You're a light unto others. So you might very much resonate with being a shaman, a healer, an energetic healer, whatever. It feels like you're definitely meant to help others. So even counselors are healers, okay? So people are like, oh, therapists and stuff. No, therapists help people, and we need to stop putting that stigma on it that they're terrible or that we're crazy because we go to a therapist. No. I've been to a therapist, and my therapist helped me out so much, and I'm so glad I went because it was so beneficial to my journey. Even now, there's tools that I learned from her that I still use to this day. We have Athena here. It is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. So reclaiming your power here and coming back into that place of knowing that you don't have to be so high expectant of yourself, because then unknowingly you're putting that on others, right? And it's not something you're going out of your way and you're like, oh, I expect everyone to be like me. But remember, if you put yourself in a superhero cape, you're going to put that expectation on others without realizing it, because others are going to feel that and they're going to realize, I can't stand up to that, right? So being relatable is more important than anything else. That sounds so silly, but it's true. Like coming back and realizing like, hey, I'm human too. Like I have good days and bad days. I have faults. I have imperfections. I have things that I'm not so happy about. I have days when I just don't want to do anything at all. And I have days when I have all the energy in the world and I can do more than I ever thought I was capable of. I have the hiccups of confirmation coming through. Strength and guidance. Wow. Look at this beautiful image. Something about opening your heart, right? Opening your heart chakra here. You could be closed off from yourself, especially with the father wound. Usually they're like, oh, that's the mother wound. But no, for me personally, the mother wound closes us off from our intuition and our ability to receive love. But I feel like the father wound closes us off from our ability to give love. And it's not that you're not a loving person, but you can only give as much as you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself right now, you're not giving that to others, right? You're giving that same energy to others. Even if you're like, no, I'm giving more, I'm giving more, I'm giving more. You might think that you're giving more, but you're only giving as much as you give yourself. And this very masculine energy here as well. So he feels, don't underestimate the power of your soul. You are a strong and resilient soul with the capacity to rise above any challenge. Divine intervention is taking place at this time. Whatever is occurring in your life is providing a real learning curve for your soul. You're becoming more and more aware of what will lead you to fulfill your purpose and what will divert you from joy. So your biggest goal right now is to focus on what brings you joy and happiness. Your angel guide is encouraging you to recognize that the feelings that are coming to you now are guidance that will help you understand the steps that you need to take and the moves that you need to make in order to be aligned with abundance and support. And we were talking about that. There's uncomfortable energy that's coming in, but finding peace with that will help. Angels are encouraging you to dig deep and hold your station. If you're wondering what the next step is, know that it will be revealed in due course. Don't change your plans or your vision or your goals for anyone. This is not a time to take drastic action, but to remain committed and strong. Keep up the good work. Angels are encouraging you to recognize the power of your prayers and intentions at this time. Recognize, too, that angels are with you and willing to guide you on your journey. The universe itself is with you. If you trust in it, it will draw down the power of the cosmos, and the right steps will be revealed in such a way that it will be effortless for you to take them. Know that it's not your job or duty to know everything that's unfolding. Just take one step at a time until the solution and outcome are revealed. Have faith. We got the faith card. Positive things are happening, right? And so I feel like reminding yourself, and it does feel like the darkness is closing in a little bit here, right? And that's that energy of feeling like I'm not doing the best that I possibly can. But what if you just reminded yourself that I did exactly what I was meant to? Instead of trying to strive for extra and extra and extra, and that extra credit, the overachiever, right? That gets old after a while and you get burnt out. So coming back from that overachieving energy and coming back to saying that what I give in this moment is exactly enough, and I am enough in this moment, and reminding yourself of that always. And that helps you reconnect with your intuition and your strength and the guidance that you have been receiving this entire time. So this is what I see here. This is a very powerful message, pile number 2. This is what I see here for you. If you felt like this was your pile, leave a little snake energy or the little snake emoji down below and say, I shed the skin of the past that was not mine to carry to begin with, and I open up my heart to step into my divine purpose, knowing I am enough as I am right now. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. It is a quick and easy way to support the channel. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member of the channel. With that, I want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, my spirit guides, and a special shout out to Archangel Michael for coming through with this incredible message for you. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 4th house on it, I'll move you over just a tad bit here. Okay. Or if you're drawn to this black obsidian piece, or if you're drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on Archangel Michael's powerful message for your biggest choice right now. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And we do things completely differently around here, so keep that in mind as we move forward. Should the message happen to resonate, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. It's just a quick and easy way to help support the channel as well. So let's hop to it and find out what your powerful message from Archangel Michael for your biggest choices, pile number 3. So Archangel Michael, what is the powerful message that you have for pile number 3 and their biggest choice? Archangel Michael, what is the powerful message that you have for pile number 3 regarding their biggest choice right now? 4th house has come out in every single pile. I can't. I can't. Wow. So the underlying message across the board has been pretty simple about healing generational curses and generational wounds. Like, it's difficult to make a choice regarding what it is that you want to do in your life if you're running based off of subconscious wounding, right? So that's automatically going to make the choice for you. It's going to be fueled by the fear or the disruption, the hurt, the pain, or the wall that the emotional eagle has built up for you. But with this, we see there is a great transformation here. You choose to balance that out for yourself. So when you come into a state of balance, harmony, and peace, you're going to be able to see clearly what it is that you need to do for yourself, which is going to be different for everybody, right? Because we're all on different journeys. But this is something that's been on your heart for a long time, it feels like. So this could be something that you want to create, or a move. You want to move to a different country, or you want to move to a different state, a different city, a different place. This feels like a big life choice here, okay? This feels like this is going to affect your life for the long run. So it's like maybe you want to build a business, and of course that's going to affect your life for the long run, right? Or you want to create something new, and that's just going to be your way of expressing yourself now. You know, with Libra energy here, Libra is a huge advocate for art and appreciates all things that are beautiful. So maybe you want to change your hair or your looks or your body or something like that. There's a huge transformation just around the river bend here for you. And that is going to be something that comes smoother when you face this part of yourself that's maybe making you feel like, I can't do that. And I feel like the energy is different than pile 1 and 2, but it's also a similar message, right? And we're going to dig into it with the tarot here, but I just feel like the main thing here is finding balance and finding harmony. Not being so gullible to what other people are telling us, and we might not realize that we're being gullible. Like, we might hear people's fears, and then suddenly, without realizing it, we're absorbing that fear. Like, oh my gosh, that's something that's totally reasonable to be afraid of, when if we had never heard that person mention that fear. you know, wouldn't have affected us that way. This feels like mob mentality, right? And it's so interesting that they're bringing it up. There's one thing that they're bringing up, but I won't mention it because it causes too much of a controversy. So I already said no to that, but then they brought up this other thing that I watched recently on Netflix. I'm in love with the train wreck documentaries. If you haven't seen them, I love watching them because it's just crazy, like stuff that I didn't even know happened and stuff that I did know that happened that I didn't know even intimate details about and stuff like that. And the last one that I watched was the one where it was like about Area 51. Okay, and it was like where everybody was going to go to Area 51 and they're like, oh, can they stop us all? And the show itself created a mob mentality where it suddenly was just a joke. It was a joke. It wasn't anybody supposed to take it seriously. And then all these people started taking it seriously. And suddenly it went from like 100 people to 500,000 plus people showing up to suddenly 3.5 million people showing up to this situation, this event, and not realizing the kind of chaos that it was creating. And so it's like taking that seriously, right? When it was meant to be a joke. And that's what it feels like here. It's like there's something that someone said about fear or about having to worry about something. And instead of seeing it as what it is and that's theirs to carry, there's something about maybe you internalizing that and taking that fear on yourself and then not recognizing the damage that holding on to that fear has created in your own life. Like going and seeing people, going out and taking little adventures here and there, or expressing and enjoying the beautiful person that you are. You know, it can be anything really, but that's what this feels like here. And it feels very deeply rooted. So it means that if it was something that you took on from someone else, even like, say it was yesterday, right? It means that that's something that has been deeply rooted in the subconscious. It's coming from either a core wound or it's coming from a generational wound that needs to be hashed out and focused on for healing right now. And that's what Archangel Michael is saying. Like, this helps to bring balance back into your life. And recently, I'm recording this right after the full moon in Aquarius, the 8/8 portal. We're in Mercury retrograde still, and there's a lot of, and I can't remember what other planet is in retrograde right now. I want to say, I don't know. I don't know. There's another planet in retrograde right now, but there's a lot of astrological things that are happening right now, and I feel like you could be affected by a lot of those astrological things going on right now. And so just feeling completely overwhelmed right now, not realizing that this is the time to slow down and really focus on those emotions that are coming up and what is arising for you. And as always, if you've watched all 3 piles, leave a purple heart down below. That's for my Purple Heart Club. And just say I made it, and I'll know what that means. Just thank you so much if you've chosen to watch all 3 piles with me. I really do appreciate it. And if not, and you're here on pile number 3, I hope you know that I really do appreciate you as well. Because it doesn't matter whether you spend the entire time with me or just this one pile with me. It really does help, and I'm here because of each and every one of you. So we're going to be using the Archangel Power Tarot today to find some more out about this. So Archangel Michael, can you please tell us some more about this energy here? What is the powerful message that you have for pile number 3 for their biggest choice? What is the message that you have for pile number 3 for their biggest choice, Archangel Michael? Okay, thank you. What is the message you have for them for their biggest choice? Yeah, it's like overcoming something, letting go of something so that you can overcome it. And I know that sounds simple, but it's so much easier said than done, right? What is the message you have for pile number 3, Archangel Michael? Thank you. What more would you like to tell pile number 3? What is the powerful message you have for pile number 3 for their biggest choice? Okay, thank you. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. 9 of Michael. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, and worry to your angels. And also in the Tarot Marseille, we're talking about red flags. So there's something here that happened that was a trigger to bring up that wound for healing. But instead of bringing up that wound for healing, it feels like it triggered much more than that, like feelings of worry, feelings of doubt, feelings of regret, feelings of shame, feelings of lack, right? And not knowing exactly what to do now. Like I can't do what I want to do because so and so said this, or saying like, well, yeah, they're totally valid, and feeling like that is a real fear, right? Say you want to go skydiving and they're like, this is a totally extreme situation. Okay, please just take it with a grain of salt, but this is the example they're giving. It's like, say you wanted to go skydiving and you told a friend, you're like, oh, I've always wanted to skydive, like ever since I can remember. It's amazing. And they're like, oh yeah, well, I know someone who died skydiving. Why would you want to put yourself in that position? And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, like that's a valid thing. Like even though it was something that was already there, right? But now it's just amplified, and all you can think about is the negative side of it. And so it's lost its joy for you. And it's something that was maybe one of your heart's desires. And now you're not going to experience a heart's desire because that fear got amplified. And so that's why it's saying here, it's something that's gotten amplified. And Michael is telling you to bring it back a little bit and say, is there something deeper to this? Like, what is this really mirroring in my life? And what can I heal? Is this really mine to hold on to? Do I really feel that way? You know, and especially if it's something as extreme as that, it could have been bungee jumping or anything, right? Like, it's like if it's an extreme sport, just say, it doesn't, please just know this is not meant to resonate with everyone, this example. It's just an example for that. And they're saying, like, if it's an extreme sport or something like that, and it's something you've always wanted to do, why did you want to do it? If the first person who told you the dangers of it, even though you already were aware of the dangers of it, right? Why is it that the first person who told you that was enough for you to say, oh, no, that's okay, I'm not going to do that again, right? That means that you weren't standing grounded in what it is that you wanted to do, and you weren't feeling like what your heart wanted really mattered. And so that's what Archangel Michael is saying. Like, it's time for you to really look into that part of yourself, and is this really something that you want? Then you do it. Even though there's fear, you do it, right? And doing it because of the fear is what makes us stronger. That's where spiritual growth comes from. So we have the Four of Ariel, yeah, holding on to something here, trying to build some sort of stability in, but still also holding on. Being resistant to change, extremes in how you save or spend money. When you give, you also receive. It also talks about the Four of Coins energy here. It also talks about building stability for yourself, right? This feels like grounding yourself in that internal stability. What I want, what I desire, what I want to chase, it matters because it's what I want to do. But if you're letting every person and their fears, their whims, or their thoughts deter you from that, how much do you really believe in yourself that you're going to be capable of doing it, right? And that's the things. It's like if you're not believing in yourself, if you're not grounding in yourself and seeing yourself as worthy of achieving these things, then anybody can come in and make you choose a different path or turn away from what it is that you really desire. It's not easy to stand in resolution of this is what I want, but it's powerful. Okay, and we're not looking for ease in life. If we were looking for ease in life, we would choose what everybody else is choosing. We're looking for freedom, and freedom doesn't come easy. The Queen of Michael, brilliant, self-reliant, insightful, humorous. You know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience, a time for career rather than relationships. Yeah, so putting too much emphasis on the relationships is what's drawing you in. That could be because you haven't yet called in spirit, your soul family, your spirit family. But that could also be that you're surrounded by people who benefit from you being in a low vibration, and focusing more on your career, what you desire, is going to help bring you into a more abundant energetic space. Okay. The Ace of Raphael. This is a gift from Source to reconnect with yourself emotionally, right? A positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. And the Ace of Cups for me is not a love card. Like, it's not about a relationship. It could be, especially if there's other cups cards involved. But with this particular situation, this is talking about your connection with divine, with source, and how grounded is that connection, and is that connection what's leading you towards what you desire, or is it the whims of everyone else? And that's what they're saying. So rebuilding that connection with source, rebuilding that connection with your guides is going to help you make the best choice, the best decision for yourself. And that's what Archangel Michael is referring to, remembering how powerful you are. You know, the Queen of Swords energy, she's beautiful, right? She's also very Libra. This is Libra energy with the Queen of Swords. She's this beautiful energy. She's very sharp, very witty, and very intelligent. And she's quick to cut off people who aren't in resonance with her. And that's the type of energy that if you embody at this time, that's going to serve your highest good, because it's going to remind you that it's okay for me to say no to people. It's okay for me to have, this is like a disbelief in what they're saying, right? They doubt you for your abilities, and it's okay to doubt them for what they're saying. It's not even an eye for an eye. It's just realizing that you can't believe everything you read on the internet. Do you remember that old commercial? I don't know. This is a really old commercial, but it's coming through. It's like, there's this girl, and she goes, "Oh, hi, I'm waiting for my date." And she's like chewing this gum, and she's just like, anyways. And the guy's like, "Well, where did you find him?" And she goes, "Oh, he's a French guy, and I connected with him on the internet." And she's like, "Don't you know? You can believe anything you read on the internet." And he's like, "Oh, really?" And this dude walks up that has been living in his parents' basement for his whole life, and he's totally nerd and everything, and he's not French, but he walks up and he goes, "Oh, hey, buongiorno." Like, it's how he says it and everything. And the guy that was talking to the lady is like, And we used to have these commercials that said, "Don't believe everything you see on the internet." Okay, like, they're really old. They're really, really old commercials. Like, that came out way back in the early 2000s, maybe even the 90s. So I'm aging myself here, but, it's cool. I'm a Zennial. I just found out that term, Zennial. I'm a millennial, but I'm actually a Zennial. I'm kind of more on the Gen Z side of the millennials instead of the, not Gen Z, what do they call them? Yeah, I guess it is Gen Z. I don't know them all. Anyways, the ones that were in the 80s, I was born in the 80s, so. Anyways, yeah, so, old commercial, but feeling like you have to believe everybody and what they're saying, like that's the truth of who you are. You're not that person anymore, but there's a part of you that wants to still be that person, and that's what Archangel Michael is saying. Alright, so what he's trying to remind you of is your power, your internal power. Let yourself blossom and be that person who cuts people off and not be afraid of that. Right? Yeah, because there's something you're meant to do here of service, integrity, reverence, and service. Okay, you're going to be of service to others in a powerful way. On the bottom, Mercury. And then square underneath that, a challenging situation, a mountain to climb. So this is something that's been really hard for you to do. Right now it's about thinking, learning, networking, and communication. So connecting with that Mercury energy. And also because, like I was talking about Mercury being in retrograde at the time of recording this, like this Mercury retrograde might be very difficult for you as well. Like I know it has been for me. This has been probably one of the hardest ones I've experienced as of late. And so that might be what you're experiencing as well. And so you might have this back and forth energy where it's like, oh, I believe him. Oh, I don't believe him. And this like wishy-washy feeling coming in, and reminding yourself that you are powerful enough to overcome this. What else would you like to say? Believe in yourself. 57. Yeah, so Archangel Michael is reminding you to believe in yourself. Believe in your abilities here. Okay? You are so much more than you could ever even imagine. We are source incarnate here to express ourselves as we see resonates with us. And we forget that. We forget that because we're so communal and we're so, you know, social, that we begin to believe that we're everybody else. And that's not true. Like, we're a unique expression of source energy, and that we have a right to express that as it is. We have Hawk Spirit on the bottom here with let spirit be your guide. So not only is Archangel Michael trying to help guide you back to what feels right for you, but Source is also trying to help you come back to something that feels aligned with your purpose. This has been really difficult time for you, though, because this is something that's challenging. This could be a person. This could be a job situation. This could just be a belief system as well that you're trying to overcome. But it's just showing like how much it's held on and for how long it's held on. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck, we have Druid. Hold this space. Okay, hold the space to let go. Hold the space to feel into it. Hold the space to allow yourself to be seen. And to see yourself, really, like seeing yourself is going to benefit you so much. But also holding the space, this makes you feel like holding the space for something that's beautiful in your life. Reminding yourself that it's okay for you to experience beauty and what that is. So it really feels like drawing back from all things just, it could be work related, but it could be relationship related as well. There's like a seriousness here that's kind of overwhelming the reading, and it's drawing back from all that serious energy and coming back to the playful side of yourself and letting yourself see that as well, and knowing that that is okay. Like, it's okay for you to have fun. It's okay for you to be silly and to be goofy, and that life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. It's too short to be so serious. Yeah, number 22. You open your heart. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others and let love heal the situation. Yeah, so come back to this place of love, right? Let go of the worry. Focus on what you want. Come back to your heart. What your heart wants matters. On the bottom, you're ready for more. Your career is growing and blossoming. Now is the time to make the changes you've been contemplating. So if you want to make shifts, now is the time to do it. But not getting so hung up. Like, I keep hearing that. Don't get so hung up. Excuse me. Don't get so hung up on the shifts themselves. Like, if you wanted to make a change, make the change, but it just feels so serious to me. That's what it feels like. It just feels like overwhelmingly serious. Let your heart guide you. That's what he's saying. And have some fun. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. You're really sad right now. Okay. Yeah, this is why this has been hard. There's something here you're grieving. It's like, how do you have fun when you're grieving? And I feel like that's the thing. It's like, if you've lost someone or something, you know, and we're in the grief process, when we go back to living life, we don't want to have fun again, because it feels like we're doing that person or that situation a disservice. Like, oh, if I have fun, then I'm not honoring the fact that they're gone or the fact that this is gone. And that's not true. Think about it. You know, like, if that, just say it's a person. If that person were still here, would they want you to suffer? I mean, would they truly, in their heart of hearts, want you to suffer? And if the answer is no, then why are we putting it on ourselves to suffer? Okay, and that doesn't necessarily have to be a person. But the same is true for everything. It's like, do you really think that situation, if it's a situation like a job or something that you're grieving the loss of, you know, you have to remember, it's like, do you think that that job is grieving you as hard as you're grieving it? And that hurts too, because it feels like we didn't mean as much as we thought we did. But that's not necessarily true either. It's just reminding ourselves of the reality of the situation and not the reality that our emotional ego is trying to sell us on. This big, big thing that's trying to draw you back into the hurt and the pain. Yeah, caution. And this came out in another pile too. So the sadness is what's making you have caution here. The sadness is what's putting you in this place of, I can't do this, I can't do that, like, you know, and rather than sitting in that place of I can't, come back to the place of what you can do and believe in yourself and your abilities. Okay, so let's get a couple more angel messages here, and we'll see what else Archangel Michael wants to say for you. On the bottom, we have Sonia. I bring you a message from your... No. I can't right now. I bring you a message from your deceased loved ones. I am happy, at peace, and I love you very much. Please don't worry about me. Oh my goodness. I need a drink. I have to take a drink of water because this just... This blew my mind. Because that's what I was saying. It feels like you're grieving something, especially with the sadness card coming out. And it could be someone. For many of you, it might be a someone. And remember, if it is a something, that's okay. The message still applies. It's like, remember, if it's like a job or position or something, it still goes on without you, right? And so we have to remember that we grieve it, we let it go, knowing that we'll be okay moving on, even if it feels like we won't. But for many of you, I was getting that energy that it feels like someone here doesn't want to have happiness or enjoy anything beautiful again in their life, because if I enjoy the beauty in life again, then that does this person's memory a disservice, and they don't feel that way at all. They want you to know that they're happy. They miss you. They love you. They're at peace, but they want you to still enjoy your life. Yeah, wow. That was really synchronistic and powerful. Just right away. Whoa. And I'm so sorry, like, grief is the hardest, and I've talked about this many times on many of my readings. Like, grief is the hardest emotion that we as humans will ever have to experience. And it's not fun. It's not easy, right? And that's what this feels like. It's just like, how do you deal with overwhelming amount of grief? Instead of trying to shove it away, let your tears fall. Talk to them as if they're still here. There's nothing that's more healing than having that conversation you always wish that you could have with them right now. Even if they're not physically present, it doesn't mean that they're not with you and they're not listening, because they're always with you and they're always in your heart. You don't ever truly lose someone. They'll always be with you. And I know sometimes it's hard to believe when they're not physically here, but I do feel like there's something that needs to be said. We had the communication with Mercury, and this is why this could be extra hard for you. And maybe taking some time and lighting a candle and calling forth, like bring their picture out and calling them forth and saying, hey, I just want to tell you what's been on my heart for a long time that I felt like maybe I didn't get a chance to tell you, or that I wanted to tell you for so long and you haven't been here, and I need to tell you now. And letting it all come out, and cry and cry and cry and cry until you cannot cry anymore, and cry some more until the tears dry up. And when the tears dry up, I guarantee you, you're going to feel loads lighter. Go take a nap, go lay down, go to bed. When you wake up, you're going to feel like a different person. And I can tell you that from my own experience. I can't tell you, when I went to the hospital when my mom was diagnosed with cancer, I went to the hospital and there was this pamphlet that was there, and it was talking about grieving your loved ones. And the number one thing it said on there is talk to them as if they're still here. This helps with the grieving process. And I was like, whatever. Like, that's so weird. Like, this is back before I knew about my abilities. This was back before, well, I knew about my abilities, but it was when I was denying my abilities. Okay, and so after my mom passed away, she came to me. I knew exactly when she had passed away. And she came to me and she had a message for me. And when I started opening up to my spiritual journey, I started having these amazing conversations with her. And she was giving me answers all the time. And we still have these incredible conversations that I never got to have with her when she was alive. And there's like a barrier's been removed between the two of us. And you know, it's beautiful, and it's definitely helped with my grieving process, because when my mom was in the hospital, my family decided that we were not going to cry in front of my mom. We didn't want her to know how bad it was. She had stage 4 brain cancer, and we didn't want her to know how bad it was. And so we decided we would never cry. If we were going to cry, we were going to cry until we went into the hospital room. And when we went into the hospital room, we would put on our best face so that she would always be in a positive mood. And I agreed. I felt like that was the best course of action. And so there were times when I would cry beforehand, but then what happened is something switched inside of me, and I didn't know how to cry anymore. And so when she passed away, it was like I was all stopped up. Like I didn't know how to grieve. I was just numb, because we had forced ourselves to not cry about this awful situation, watching my mom go from this vibrant person to withering away, which is, if you've ever experienced anything like that, and even if you've had, my brother was a sudden death, and so like I know both, and I don't think that one is worse than the other. I think both are incredibly different, and both are incredibly hard. And you know, it's like I'm so sorry if this is something that you've experienced. For me to want to talk about it and be pushed to talk about it, it's telling me that it's going to sit with somebody, and somebody needs to hear it. But afterwards, when I started accepting the spiritual journey and I started having these conversations, I could feel her presence. And there are days now when she just comes to me and she's like, hey, I'm here. Like, I want you to know that I love you and I care about you. And she sends messages, and I hear songs all the time. Like, there's this song that I heard in this movie that I watched, and I love it, and I love it, and I saved it to my playlist. And you know, it's a kid's song, and it just talks about how even when she's not near, she's still there. And you know, it's something that it just reminds me that no matter what, they'll always give us messages through songs and through movies. Like, if all of a sudden you find yourself crying just like I am right now, like, they're giving you a message, and to trust that and to know that it is from them, because they know how hard it is when they leave and we're still here. But they don't stop loving us, and they don't want us to forget them, and they don't want us to suffer. Like, it's not anything that my mom, when I talked to her, I was like, I just don't feel like I can enjoy life anymore. And she told me that that's not fair. She's like, life is meant to be enjoyed. And she's like, sorrow and grief is just a part of it. Let yourself experience those so that you don't be numb anymore. And I had to let that go. And I remember the first time I cried for like 3 hours. I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop crying, and as soon as the tears dried up, I went right to sleep. And then when I woke up, I understood so much more about grief than I was ever letting myself understand. And the beautiful thing, pile 3, about grief is that to be able to feel grief means that there was that much love that existed in the first place. We got to love somebody so much that when they left, we get to cry. We get to feel that loneliness from them because we love them that much. What a blessing is that in our lives, that we get to experience that. Even if it's so heavy, there's still such a blessing in that. And there's so much that I wish that I had said to her, but I'll never forget the one thing that I did say to her when I walked into the hospital room. Even before I knew that she'd been diagnosed with cancer, they thought that she'd had a stroke. My mom and I were at odds when this happened. We were fighting, and we'd had a lot of hard times because of my ex and because of the situation that I was in. And my mom knew, and I just didn't want to listen to her because I was being so stubborn. And I remember walking in and kissing her forehead and grabbing her hand, and I told her, I said, no matter what has happened to this now moment, all is forgiven, and we get a clean slate moving forward. And I'll always be grateful for that.
Because sometimes we just hold on to resentments, and I feel like that it's what you're doing right now is holding on to some type of resentment, some type of hurt, and then that's creating guilt and regret. Like, I didn't do this, and I could have done this, and I didn't do this. And it's okay. You're human. You're allowed to have those moments. There's no need to hold on to them anymore. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to let it go, and especially if you're a man on here. It's okay. You don't have to hold that burden in anymore, because Archangel Michael is here to help you let it go, and help carry your grief with you, and so is your loved one. They'll always walk beside you. There's never gonna be a day that they're not standing beside you the minute you wake up and the minute you go to bed. Whenever you have anything big to choose in life, whenever you have anything small to do in life, they're right there with you because they want to see you succeed. Oh my gosh. Whew. Wow. This got really deep really fast. Alright, let me take a breath. So we got more cards to go over. Let me take my glasses off so I can see. Alright. Oh, I love you, Pile 3. I just want you to know you're not alone, okay? You're not alone. Moon, take note of intuitive messages. That's what I was saying, like, if there's a song or there's a movie and you feel like that's a message from them, then that is exactly what that is. Don't question that, right? They talk to us in so many different ways. I mean, this time when I'm driving and I get talked to from license plates and bumper stickers or someone waving at me and it means something significant, right? Like, it's we're always thinking, oh, you have to be some special channel to receive messages, and it's like, don't ever compare yourself to people like me on the internet who do this. Don't. You have that ability too. It's a muscle, but you have to trust it in order to build the muscle, right? Like, that's how it works. And that's why it's like, it's not fair for you to compare yourself, because right now they're saying start believing in those intuitive nudges that you're receiving. Air Guardian, shift your perception. Your perception. And that's what we've been talking about this whole time, right? Like, shifting your perception into this place of, like, it's okay for you to enjoy life again. It's okay for you to bring a sense of fun. It's okay for you to see the beauty in life again. In fact, when you grieve and you let go, what ends up happening is you begin to see things even more clearly and more beautiful. Like, the sunset suddenly holds a different meaning than it ever could have before. And the trees blowing in the wind and hearing the rustling of the leaves, it sounds like music to your ears. You see things that you didn't notice before. So shifting your perception here, right? How you're taking in the world around you. Don't give up on love. A relationship you cherish can be healed. Allow me to clear the way for forgiveness so that love can thrive again. Even if there were a situation that ended on bad terms, or even if something fell apart, or even if it was, like I said, there's regret here for something that was not said. It's never too late. Even if there is a loss of life here, it's never too late. They're always listening, okay? And it feels like someone you loved very much. And dolphins also represent happiness as well. So coming into that place of finding happiness again for yourself, that's not a bad thing. That's exactly what they want you to do. It's exactly what Archangel Michael wants you to do for this big choice that you have, whatever it is. It's coming back to a place of finding happiness within yourself. It says your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith. Don't try to force it to happen. And then we've got Caressa. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step.
Happiness awaits you.
It feels like maybe for a long time, pile 3, you've been really numb and not able to experience life. It's just been blasé and empty. Things are shifting. And Archangel Michael is at the forefront of that, helping you shift away from the sadness, even depression. But it feels like grief. It really does feel like grief more than anything. And grief can manifest in a whole lot of different ways, right? It can manifest in anger. It can manifest in depression. It can manifest in being what people would say is antisocial. It can manifest in hyperactivity. It can manifest in so many different types of ways. So remember that there's nothing wrong with how it's manifested in your life. We're not saying it's wrong. What we're asking is for you to feel into that so that you can let it go and come back into this place of happiness. So I feel like naturally you're a happy person, but that's been, like, it just feels gray right now. It feels really gray. All right, we're going to look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book for you. Wow, we have clear, cancel, and release. And this is actually mudra for, I don't remember. I think this is either for the third eye chakra or maybe the throat chakra. Don't quote me on that, but I know this is a yogi mudra that we use often. You just put your hands like this and cross them over your heart and hold it for a while, and that will help you clear some energy. Maybe they'll talk about it in the maybe they'll talk about it in the book. All right, let's see. It says, you're being guided to clear your life and energy of any negative or challenging people, situations, or events. It's time to release any old ideas, negative thought patterns, or even sarcastic comments you may be using to put yourself down. Angel wisdom wants you to recognize and realize the power of your words, thoughts, and intentions. If you are saying something even jokingly about yourself that might have a negative effect on you or express something that you wish wasn't real, you are being encouraged to be more loving towards yourself. Angels are guiding you to clear, cancel, and release anything that you no longer want or need in order to make room for love, positivity, and peace. Whenever you have a negative thought or say something then wish you hadn't, you have the capacity to remove that idea or energy from your own energy by saying the powerful affirmation, clear, cancel, and release. Isn't that what I was saying? Like, there's a regret here for something that was said or maybe something that was left unsaid. Angels are ready and willing to help you clear anything that could be standing between you and your inner peace. You're also being encouraged to clear any clutter from your life. If there is a dust buildup or stuff accumulating in your home, office, car, anywhere else you spend time, clear it now. When you clear physical space, you clear psychic space. Making these simple changes will clear your energy and open you up to experiencing a sense of clarity and freedom. So for you, it was more about a message of allowing the grief, but also allowing yourself to reset from what has happened that caused that grief, right? And it's not to bury it and it's not to make it disappear. Grief is going to arise whenever it arises. When you've lost somebody in your life, there is no, oh, okay, we're done with grief now. Like, no, like, there's still days, look, even days when I cry, like, there's a lot of emotion on this reading. There's a lot of emotional charge behind that. But remembering that you have an opportunity to clear, cancel, and release whatever it is that you feel like you have to hold on to with regret or shame or blame even, that letting that go will help free you up in ways that you didn't know could be possible. And that will help you with the biggest choice that you have. And I feel like this might actually be the biggest choice that you have right now, currently. And this is going to help you set a right foot in the direction that you want to go in moving forward, okay? Oh, pile 3. Here's a big, big, big energetic hug for you, okay? I love you so much. You're not alone. You are so loved, held, supported, and cared for. Okay, more than you know. But if this is your message, leave the little broken heart symbol down below.
And just say, I choose to release myself by feeling into the grief and allowing myself to experience what is coming up in this moment now. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for your personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. With that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together, as well as a special shout out to Archangel Michael for giving us this very powerful, very deep message today. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.